Look at them aces, limp in, whatever y'all want. One more time, big dog, one more time. One more time, my guy. One more time. Come on, wake up with something, guys. I didn't look yet, let's look.
Welcome to this episode of How to Crush No-Limit Hold'em Games in the United States Casino. I'm June. Today we're going to South Point Casino off the strip, and we're trying to play some macro stacks tournament and see how the table is going on. And let's go fishing. Because I'm still waiting for a tournament to start, so I play cash game for a while, and I bought in for $1,000 and play for 3-5. And the bad news is there aren't many interesting hands. The only interesting hand is this hand. +1 in middle position player limped, and I got ace jack offsuit on the low jack. I raised to $35 to punish this limp player. And to my surprise, 7 big blind raise is not big enough. Hijack and cutoff calls my raise, +1 in middle position calls because of the pot odds. And flop comes ace-5-5 rainbow, and 2-player check to me. And think this board is very static, which means it won't change too much for the turn and the river run out. And I hit a top pair, but my kicker don't get a 3 street value, so I decided to check. And all check to cutoff player, he bets $50. +1 player also calls, and my hand is an easy call facing this 1/3 bet. And where 3 player went to the turn comes a king. The +1 player check to me. Here I decided to check to see if cutoff player got any action, and turns out he checked back. River comes a 10, so Jack Queen is a straight now, but based on the action line I don't think anyone got a straight. And interesting happens, +1 player bets for $100, which is a very small bet, and if he got any ace I would chop with him, but I don't think he would bet his 5x with this small size. And plus the cutoff player check back turn, I don't think he got many strong hands, so I decided to call. And cutoff player folded. Turns out +1 shows pocket sevens. Well, it's a really surprising hand. I don't really expect he would bet this hand on the river, but I think this is the merit we got when we checked the flop. So we successfully take down this decent spot. And then it's time for a tournament because we're trying to play some micro stack tournament and see how the game is running here. And we bought in for $100, and we started our levels at 400 and 800, and things go quite smooth in the beginning. We successfully took down some pots, and our stacks are growing to around 28k. And this hand I got ace-10 suited under the gun, and I open raise to 2000. Low jack player, bottom player, and big blind all calls. And flop is very good. It's 10-8-5 2 diamonds. So I hit a top pair, top kicker, big blind check to me, and this board has a lot of draws there, so I bet for 2/3 of the pot. Low jack player folded, big blind shoves all in, but he only got 13,000 left, so it's a snap call for me. Then he shows jack 8 offsuit. Turn and river comes at 7, so very successfully I knock him out, and my stacks are growing to over 2 times the starting chips. And then the next level I didn't get too many special hands, but this is the last level before the end of the buy-ins. And the player on my left side is starting to blind all in. And the first time everyone is very suspicious, so folded to him, and he shows some garbage hand. And the second time he do it again.
Look at them aces, limp in, whatever y'all want. One more time, big dog, one more time. One more time, my guy. One more time. Come on, wake up with something, guys. I didn't look yet, let's look. He's ready to call me, just waiting for you. I don't know. You are now on break. Oh, matter now.
After his speech, he blind all in for around 20k, it's around 20 big blinds. And all folds to big blind player, he chooses to call. He has king queen offsuit. And the cutoff player has 7-6 offsuit.
Come on, get in there. You got a pair? Done. Come on, 6 again.
So he's really doing it blindly. And the board finally has ace 4 3 10 ace. So he rebuy after this hand, which is a very interesting situation.
Good hand.
And then it's end of the buy-in and the information of the prize pool is announced. And this is a 100 buy-in small tournament, and totally there are 100 people buy-in, and the prize pool is 7,800. So the rake is quite heavy, it's 22%. There will be 15 people in the money, and the minimum cash is 172. And the first place got 1949, so it's a very decent price for a 100 buy-in game. And then the next hand blinds are up, and there are only 26 players left, so we're really close to the money. And this hand I got ace queen offsuit under the gun and I raised it to 4,000. Hijack player calls, bottom player the chip leader 3-bet me to 12k. And blinds player folded, facing this player who knows how to put pressure on other players. I got ace queen offsuit, I think it's strong enough to reshoves. So I decided to push all in for around 17 big blinds. Hijack player folded, bottom player tanked for a long time, and finally he chose to call. And the blind all-in player, after he rebought, very accidentally he sit on the same seat. And he tries to say good luck to me, but he can't.
I'm sorry, I want to say good luck, but it's a tournament. So would it be a tournament if I say good luck to you? I want the guy who have less chips to lose. It wouldn't be fair, you know?
But I think it's okay, bro. And then the bottom player shows ace queen, and flop comes jack 3-4. And interestingly, there's 2 diamonds on the board, and I have the diamonds. And turn comes a 7 of diamonds, so I got a chance to free roll. But river very sadly comes a 8 of hearts, so we chop this part. In the next hand, 2 players are out, so there's only 24 people left. Under the gun player raised it to 6,000, around 3 big blinds. Hijack player calls, I got pocket 10s. Although we're facing under the gun player's open range, but pocket 10s is too strong, so we have to push all in for around 37,000. It's around 18 big blinds. And very surprisingly, after I shoves, the player on my left side starting to thank me.
Thank you so much, man. You make it so easy. Thank you, bro. Make it easy. I like poker, easy poker, you know.
It's very interesting, and under gun player calls, he has ace 9 of diamonds, so it's a very good news. We only have to dodge 3 aces, and after the flop is revealed, everyone is like, wow.
Set of 10s.
And turn comes a 9.
You got 2 outs.
And river comes a jack of hearts, so there's no accident. So we successfully take down this pot, and our chips are growing to 80,000. In the next hand is middle position, a very passive player limped. I got ace 4 suited on the cutoff, and I raised it to 8,000. He calls. Flop comes ace 3 5 rainbow. And while I'm debating between c-bet or not, he leads out 15k, so it's a very surprising move, and this size is quite large, and simultaneously he has only 37k left, so probably if I call this, I'm going to decide whether I'm gonna call the turn all in. And on this board, I think he probably got very rare bluff, probably some 4-5 or 3-4 this kind of hand, but he totally can have pocket 3s, pocket 5s, or stronger ace than me. But I got a top pair and a gut shot, so I have to defend this flop. So I decided to call, and turn comes a 9 of hearts. He checked. Here I got a top pair, I don't need protection, so I decided to check back. River comes a jack of diamonds, he checked again. Here I don't think I can get value from worse hand, so I decided to check to see what he got. And turns out he shows king 10 suited. I really don't understand why he dunked the flop, but the good news is We successfully take down this pot and our chips are now growing over 100,000. And the next hand is pretty close to bubble time, and so every player is playing very tight. I got ace deuce offsuit on the cutoff. I decided to open this hand trying to get more chips. I raise it to 6,000 and bottom player calls, other folded. Flop comes queen 10 deuce 2 spades. And I think this board is quite hitting his calling range. He probably got a lot of Broadway combos on his hand, and he won't fold it if I only bet for one street. So I decided to check, and he checked back. Turn comes a queen of diamonds, so it's a very good card. If he check back the flop, I don't think he will have many queen X combo. And I think there are double draws on the board, so I decided to bet for 8,000. I don't want him to look at the free card on the river, and he calls. River comes a 10 of diamonds and completes the backdoor flush. I don't think there's too many merit to bet here. I still can win his counterfeited pocket pairs, so I decided to check. And he shoves all in. And after the dealer count, it's around 30,000. And it's a very tough spot. And I think based on my read, he's a very passive player. Previously, he has not bluffed his missed draws. And we're very close to the money, so I don't think he will try to do some insane bluff. So after a long tank, I decided to fold. But here comes the bad news. So he shows his pocket sevens, so our read is obviously wrong and we lose this pot. And the next hand is under the gun player, button and small blind all calls. I got 10-5 offsuit, so I check to see a free flop. Flop comes 10-5-6 2 diamonds, so I hit a 2 pair. All checks to bottom player, he bets for 10k. It's a relatively huge bet, so I decided to call and see if anyone is calling as well, but others fold. Turn comes a jack of spade, I check again and he checks back. River comes a 3 of spade. I think he checked back the turn is quite capped off his range. He won't have like 10 jack or pocket 6, these type of hand that had me beat, but I still need to bet for value, trying to get value from like weaker 10 or 6x, this type of hand. Also I can balance by I may have some missed draws, want to bet this river. So I bet for 25k, but sadly he snap folded, but we successfully take down this pot and now we're over 10k stacks again. And then the next hand blinds are up again, it's 2k and 4k, and there are only 22 players left. And I got queen jack offsuit on the cutoff and I raised it to 8,000. Big blind a short stack player calls, and after she calls she has only 30k left. And flop comes jack 9 deuce 2 clubs. I hit a top pair and she dunked for 10k. And it's very tough because this player is very tight and she doesn't have too much action, and when she showdown she all has the premium hands. But I think the top pair is too strong here, so I decided to get in and push all in, and she snap call and she shows jack king of spade. So very unlucky, we're just behind, and turn and river comes a 10 of clubs and 6 of spade, so we lose this pot when we're down to around 80k. And then the blinds are up and we're down to 17 people, so we're final 2 table, but we're still not in the money. There's 15 people in the money, so people are playing very tight now. And this hand start with cutoff player, raise it to 16k. I got ace 10 offsuit on the big blind, so I have only around 13 big blinds. I push all in and he snap call, so I know it's not a good news. And he shows ace king suited, and flop comes ace queen jack, so now my outs has turned to king. And turn comes a 8 of diamonds, and river comes a 5 of spade. So very sadly I'm out here, I got 17th place and very sadly I'm not in the money. So very sadly we're busted after 17th place. We didn't get to the money, but I think the tournament here is still very worth playing. Although the rake is a little bit high, it's 22%, but I think the players are mostly recreational players, so if you got some knowledge about how to play tournaments, I think it's very profitable to play. And overall today, my cash game is around $100 profit, and my tournament is down by 100, so it's a little bit profit today overall. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.
That is your chance to be ruthless.